1954. France decolonizes the colony of French Indochina. The Geneva Convention then agrees to divide the country at the 17th parallel between the communists in the north and the capitalists in the south. On August 2nd, 1964, the USS Max is allegedly struck by North Vietnamese torpedo boat. This prompts Congress to pass the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution, which allows President Johnson to use military force in Vietnam without an official declaration of war. Bang of 1 million tons of explosive ordnance from Operation Rolling Thunder, which intends to destroy the Ho Chi Minh Trail, which supplies communist guerrillas in the south. As more and more raids occur on southern military bases, President Johnson orders more and more troops to be deployed to Vietnam. Soon enough, a handful of U.S. advisors inflates to an astounding 500,000 personnel. January 31st, 1968, the Tet Offensive. On the most sacred of Vietnamese holidays, almost 100,000 Viet Cong insurgents attack over 100 different cities throughout southern Vietnam, including the U.S. Embassy in Saigon. Meanwhile, airstrikes on the Ho Chi Minh Trail prove ineffective due to a network of secret underground tunnels and unrelenting Vietnamese air defense. Even with the Viet Cong suffering more casualties than the Americans, public opinion of the war and thus the Lyndon Johnson administration dropped to an all-time low. Support for the war dropped even further with recent reports of war atrocities such as the My Lai massacre. Civil unrest resulting from opposition to the war and the draft accumulated in a violent police riot at the 1968 National Democratic Convention in Chicago. Republican candidate Richard Nixon won the 1968 presidential election, who ran on a platform of ending the war. This involved a plan called Vietnamization, where South Vietnam would eventually take over most of the fighting. However, in 1970, Nixon ordered the invasion of Cambodia and Laos in order to destroy Viet Cong bases, which sparked public outrage that resulted in the fatal shooting of 4 anti-war protesters at the University of Kent State by National Guardsmen. In a final blow against North Vietnam, Nixon ordered Operation Linebacker II, which involved the complete destruction of industry in the northern capital of Hanoi, along with much of its infrastructure. This operation saw a drastic improvement in performance from Navy airmen due to the recent Top Gun program. Officially, the war ended for the United States in 1973 with the signing of the Paris Peace Accords, but that didn't stop North Vietnam from overrunning South Vietnam in 1975 with the fall of Saigon.